A rare and eye-opening sight across Russia, people fleeing that country. A day after Vladimir Putin called up 300,000 reserve troops to fight in Ukraine. It's the first such call-up in Russia since World War II. And look at this video. This shows a time-lapse of flights leaving Russia yesterday on a flight tracker website. You can see here many flights going to Turkey, Armenia, Kazakhstan, where Russians can travel without a visa. Others are hitting the roads. Look at this. The video shows long lines of cars waiting to cross from Russia into Georgia. Officials in Finland report a similar thing at their border. All of this as tearful families were bidding farewell to men leaving to go join the Russian military. This video shows them boarding buses after hugging their family members outside a stadium in eastern Siberia. A man held a child to the window of a bus to wave goodbye to a loved one. Meantime, our Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, today addressed the United Nations Security Council to try to rally support for his campaign against Putin.
One man chose this war. One man can end it. Because if Russia stops fighting, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ends.
Blinken's Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, spoke too. That was different. He was belligerent. Lavrov accused Ukraine of being a Nazi state, said there was no war crime in Bucha, period, and alleged the Ukrainians are committing atrocities against the invading Russians. He offered no evidence to support any of that. After the speech, Lavrov stormed out of the Security Council, visibly angry. The Ukrainian foreign minister said this afterwards.
Russian diplomats flee almost as aptly as Russian soldiers.
Fleeing the battlefield, fleeing the draft orders, and fleeing the floor of the UN. Michael McFaul, now former U.S. ambassador to Russia. Michael, thanks so much. Is there a way the West can capitalize on what appears to be, I don't know, a lot of unrest in Russia?
Well, Mr. Putin's having a bad several weeks, right? He lost the beginning of the war in the Battle of Kiev. He's now lost this incredible setback around the second largest city in Kharkiv. And so he's decided to take this very dramatic step that he promised the Russian people he wouldn't do, which is this mobilization. And as you just showed, lots of people don't like it. Thousands demonstrating. First time we've seen that since the beginning of the war. And you can rest assured that if thousands are demonstrating, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Russians share that view. They just don't want to get arrested. And then people fleeing in any way they can, causing, I think, Mr. Putin some real troubles at home in terms of the legitimacy of this war.
Those Russian troops, Michael, have already suffered losses. Is there any reason to believe that these reservists he's calling up, without any training right this minute or weapons that we know about, are going to be any more competent?
Not at all. I don't think, military experts I trust say exactly what you just said. It'll take the long time for them to get there. And if you don't know why you're fighting, you don't fight very hard. I think that's a piece of this war that we have to understand. The Ukrainians don't have the same weapons. They don't have the same numbers as the Russian army, but they have the will to fight because they're fighting for their homeland. When you listen to these people being drafted, I listened to lots of interviews on the street over the last 24 hours. Many say, I'm not going to go fight. But those that do say they're going to go fight, they can't even explain why. And that uncertainty about what is this senseless war about, I think, is a huge problem for Vladimir Putin.
We can see dots to connect them is a fool's errand. I get it. But from what we see and what we've heard firsthand sources on the ground, do you see any possibility that this Russian military is in real trouble? Or is that something we're just sort of dreaming up in a propaganda way that people who take a side do?
Well, they have proven that they can't hold the territory that they conquered. What we saw around Kharkiv in particular, extraordinary reversals on the battlefield. We haven't seen that very often in history. That said, they also are, as you're pointing out, they have a big military. They have a big place in Crimea that they've occupied since 2014, in parts of the Donbass where they de facto have controlled it since 2014. So I think this war is far from just a few months of being over, tragically. And what Putin has signaled right now is he's not trying to cut a deal. He's doubling down. That suggests it's going to go on for a while.
Yep, sounds like it. We'll watch. Thanks very much.